Hey guys, before the video starts, I'd just like to thank all of my Patreon supporters. You've been keeping me motivated and keeping me inspired to do this YouTube and keep my WEBTOONS comic up. If you're not currently a Patreon but you'd like to become one, you can just head over to patreon.com or click the link in my description below. It'll take you to my Patreon, and then you can feel free to join any tier. All support is greatly appreciated. Also, if you have time, you can also click the link and it will take you to my WEBTOONS comic. These are all the chapters that are currently available to be read. So without further ado, let's get to the video. What's up guys, it's Element 5 Manga, and in this video I'm going to be explaining how to create a manga page. So the program I'm using is obviously, it's up here, it's Clip Studio Paint. And so to create a new file, I'll just go over here to file and select new, and then you'll come up here and then come over to show all comic settings, and then from here you can start making your dimensions. So for comics, I'll use this width and then this height right here, and also this resolution, because this is what I was told was the best for showing them on WEBTOONS, because that's the platform that I post my comic on. So I use 300 resolution, gray, basic frequency, paper color. And then you can come down here and add in a bunch of stuff. If you want your story name to appear in the bottom left of the page, on every page, you can put it right here. I choose not to do it, but you can. So yeah, these are the settings that I use. Feel free to copy and paste them. Alright, and you'll hit OK right here. I'm gonna hit cancel because I already have the program open. So to make these boxes, I use this tool over here, the frame border, and I just came and did this 3 times, and then it makes a frame right there. I already did it, so I don't have to do it again. But you can make your own frames like that. And then I started off with a sketch. So what I was told, or what I've been learning, it's always a good idea to start off with storyboards. So like before I even sketch this into the program, I had my entire chapter sketched out on separate pieces of paper traditionally, so that way I can look at them and plan things out before I even bring them into the Clip Studio Paint. So I already storyboarded my entire chapter. This is chapter 16, I want to say. Yep, this is chapter 16, and this is actually page 16. I'm almost finished with this chapter. I've got 4 more pages to do. But yeah, so I sketched out the entire thing before I even brought them into this program. So this is what the storyboard sketches would look like right here. It's just I'm not really worried about details at this particular point. I just wanted to get a rough description or depiction of what the page was going to look like with just the characters. Obviously I'm going to add backgrounds and all that. So yeah, after I sketch everything out, I separate all my panels into layers. Each one of these panels is a different layer. It'll make different layers when you come over here and use this frame border. All of these are different layers. So after I sketch everything out, and I've already completed the page, but I figured this is the best way to explain the tutorial. So once I complete the page, here's my line art. So you ink it just like you do traditionally. You ink everything over the sketch, and then you get rid of the sketch, or you erase it traditionally, but digitally you can just hide the layer, which is the layer right here. So after I ink the sketch, I'll throw in my blacks, which is the hair, and I'll throw in the skin, And the skin color is the same as the eye color, so I just decided to save a layer. Instead of making a whole nother eye layer, I just put it all on skin. And then for the armor is a different tone. And I'm using this up here. It's a screen tone tool that you can get within Clip Studio Paint. I brought this down to 40. My skin is 60. The blacks is 100% opacity. I'm just using this to get variations of tones on the page. Because I also heard somewhere that to make a page look more beautiful or look more visually pleasing, it's a good idea to have different values on the page. And then if you look at any professional comic or manga, you'll be able to tell they do the same thing. If it's black and white, colors, like American comics that use full color, that's a different video. You'll need like color theory videos for that. But for like Japanese manga or any comic that's in black and white, that's a good rule of thumb. Just make sure you have a lot of different values, at least 3. Make sure you have at least 3 values on the page. So that's the line art. That's his hair for the blacks. I did his skin, his armor, and now it's time for the background. So doing backgrounds is kind of simple in Clip Studio because they give you a bunch of tools you can use. So like for these trees, I didn't have to draw these trees or these leaves. I just had to come over here to this decoration tool, and then I used the Husky maple leaf tool, and it gives you leaves like this. And then I just added an extra layer behind just to make it look more 3-dimensional. Have it look like there's more trees in the background. And then I put this little outline around my character. This is just a copy of the line art, and I put it down here because if I bring it up here, I'll show you. It's going to do that, and obviously that's not how I want it to look. That'll be a cool effect, like if the character was in a genjutsu or something, or some illusion. Maybe, I don't know, I might use it later. So I'll bring it down here and then put it under all of this. That way I only get the white outline around the character. And that would be one panel. Oh, I added in these effects too. I've seen this used in manga before, where if the character is like breathing, like if he's tired or exhausted after a fight, or while he's fighting, they'll put these little effects in there. And then this is the text bubble. I'll show this after I'm done with the entire page because that's normally when I like to add in text. I don't like to add in text like at every panel, even though I already know what they're gonna say because, like I said, I already storyboarded it. But I usually add in the text after I'm done with the whole page. So that's my process for one panel. So I'll just close this, come down to the next panel, and then turn on the line art. So you do the same thing. It's all repetition. After you sketch it, you ink it just like you do it traditionally, and then you erase the sketch or turn off the sketch layer. And then you add in the blacks for her hair, the skin tone. I call this layer purple because when I color this character, her armor is purple. So sometimes I'll have a character with armor and this character in the same panel like it is down here. So that's why I started calling it purple instead of just naming it armor 1, armor 2. You can name them whatever you want. This is just the easiest way for me to do it. So then I'll put the trees in the background again using the same tool over here. Add more trees for extra depth. And then use the same trick for the line art. For the shines in her hair, I just separate that. And then I actually put it over the line art, because if you put it under the line art, sometimes it can look weird. So I just like to put these over the line art, and this is what it looks like. As you can see right here, I use some white to separate her hair, or this part of the hair, from the rest of it, just so it's easier to see. And you'll see this a lot in Japanese manga too. One thing I do recommend if you're trying to make a manga, just use a lot of reference. Or just keep manga with you and then have like a checklist. Study some pages, study what those pages or what the pros do in their comics, and then try your best to imitate it. So that's that panel, and these are all simple panels. It's nothing spectacular. Nothing too dynamic. So again, here's the sketch. As you can see back here, I didn't even draw the face. You probably won't even see the face. And these are just sketches. Like, you want to get this down as quickly as possible. You don't want to worry about details. So I'll put in the line art. That's the line art, and then erase the sketch or turn the sketch layer off. I keep saying erase because I used to make comics traditionally a lot, and that's what I had to do. So if you make comics traditionally, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And then just rinse and repeat. Put the blacks down. Throw in the skin tones. And here's what I was talking about before. So this character's armor is a different tone up here. It's 40 from this character's armor, which is named purple. This one is 45. It's not that big a difference, but I'd rather do it this way. And just throw in the trees. One layer and 2 layers. So another reason why I'd like to put this layer in here, because without this layer, it's kind of hard to see the characters because they blend in with the trees right here. That's why I'll add this in. And again, you'll see this in a lot of professional comics too. Just always use reference. If you don't have access to physical copies of comic books, you can look up panels on Google. Just type in a panel. As a matter of fact, I'll do it right here. So I'm gonna use bleach because I like the way bleach looks. I think this dude's artwork is awesome. So yeah, you can just type in panels like this, and then you'll get some examples. Can't really find one. Spoilers, by the way, if you haven't read the end of Bleach. There are a lot of spoilers. But you get the idea. Just look up a manga or comic book that you like, and then you can find examples that way. And it's online. It's on Google, right on Google. So yeah, add this in so that you can see the characters. And again, this is just a copy of the line art. All I did was Control C and then Control V. Those are the quick keys. That'll give you this copy. And then just drag it down here and put it over the tree layers. For those of you who don't know, the name of my comic book is called Element 5. You can find it up on WEBTOONS. I'll leave a link in the description below. You can click on it after you watch this video. Like I said, I'm currently on chapter 16, so there are 15 chapters up, ready to read. Alright, so let's add in the text. So I think there's one text bubble up here, and there's one right here. Yeah. So to get this effect, because this isn't a preset over here, so to get this effect right here where the bubbles connect, I'll just make another example. You just want to put a box or a text bubble right here, and then maybe I'll just bring it out because I put them outside of the panel sometimes. And then you put a text bubble right here, and then just bring this out. And then you want to come over here to this thing, balloon, and then scroll down to balloon pin, and then you can just do something like that. And then see how it's blocked off right here. All you have to do is go up to this one and then come down here to combine to layer below, and then it'll become one bubble. So that's how you get that effect right there. I'll just delete that. That's how I got this effect. And then from here, you just type in what your characters are saying. So right here, if you connect it, you'll see that this character is speaking for this panel too. And again, you'll see this in a lot of professional comics. Just always use reference. Always use reference. So that way you'll know what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. I don't want to say what's not acceptable because you can do whatever you want. It's your comic book. But this is what most people are going to be accustomed to seeing. So it's going to be easier for them to read it this way. If you do it the way that the professionals do, it's going to be easier for people to identify and read. So again, always use reference. And then that's it. This page, I think it took me around, I'd say 40 minutes to complete. The pages don't take that long. I think the longest I ever spent on a page was probably an hour and a half. It wasn't too crazy. But yeah, a page like this, it only takes around 45 minutes. And I did some warm-ups. Before on QUICKPOSES. That's a website where you can get poses, and then you can do them in sessions. So like you can do 20 poses for 60 seconds each, and it's a good way to warm up your hand. So yeah, and then once you warm up, you actually draw a lot faster. So I did that before I started drawing this, and then yeah, this only took me around 45 minutes. So yeah, that's how I lay out my manga pages. That's how I organize my manga pages. This is my design aesthetic. There's around 3 to 4 different tones on here. And like I said, most people will agree that makes the page it makes it pop out more. So to recap, always separate your layers. Always sketch the pages out first before you put the line art, and then add in all the extra tones. Put the speech bubbles in last. It just makes everything a lot easier. And then make sure if you do want to add effects in, you can put these things in right here in speech bubbles, and then just add the text. That's all these are. This is I just typed this in with the text tool. Some people they'll draw their text, and you'll be able to see it again. Like if I go to the bleach, I was about to go to that. He didn't put that in there. Let me see. That's text. That's typed out like this. I'm pretty sure he didn't type this. He had to draw this right here. So yeah, you can do it that way, or you can just text it. This right here, this is text. You can text that. Or I'm pretty sure that's a font. But you get the idea. Always keep reference on you. Be creative. Use text, or you can draw out the words if it's more dramatic. And use at least 3 to 4 different tones to make the page stand out more. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the video. If you learned something new, feel free to smash that like button. Comment down below what you think I should upload next, and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I'm gonna be uploading more tutorials to help out people, because this is how I learned how to draw and organize my comic books and just become a better artist. So subscribe for more tutorials, and you already know I'm going to be putting up a lot of speed paints too. So yeah, that's the end of the video.